What movie death scene is seared into your memory? Curb Stomp from American History X Edit. If you come across this comment and haven't seen the film, then I request you to see it. One of the best movie on racism and shows really well that what blind hatred can do to yourself. The sound of the teeth on the curb. Frown. I never understood what a curb stomp really was until that moment. It stuck my head too. No question. The scene in Casino where Joe Pesci watches his brother get beaten to death with aluminum baseball bats. The pinging sound haunts me to this day. And that was a true story, right down to the dirt in the respiratory tract from being buried alive. Jesus. I know the film was based on a true story, but I didn't know that about the scene. Makes it so much worse. Thanks for the nightmare fuel fun fact. Ha ha. Saving Private Ryan is one of my all-time favorite movies, but I can't watch the scene where Mellish gets stabbed. Mine is where Medic Wade gets shot and dies. Tell us how to fix you. It's brutal. Those last seconds of him saying he wants to go home and then asking for his mama, Jesus Christ. Heartbreaking. I like how that scene is somewhat foreshadowed by his heart-to-heart he had in the church the night before. Sharing with his friends how when he was little his mom would come home late from work and he'd lay in bed and pretend to be asleep. Makes me feel like he died with a lot of regret in his heart. John Coffey from the Green Mile. Don't put me in the dark, is afraid of the dark. That and the Cajun guy whose head lights up in the chair. Woo. Hess cookin' now. That guy was such a convincing piece of shit I can't think of him in any other role. Bridge to Terabithia. Thanks for killing me inside. In Titanic, the man plummeting from the sinking ship into the icy waters only to have his fall interrupted by still, metal propellers. That did put a hell of a spin on him for the rest of the descent into the water. Littlefoot's mom dying. Watching that as a kid was the first time that I realized that my parents could die, so that scene has especially stuck with me throughout the years. That is exactly when I realized that as well. It was traumatizing as hell. If I ever needed to cry on demand, I could just think of him chasing after his shadow, thinking it was his mom. Ghost ship. A cable sweeps through a dance floor so fast and sharp it sliced people in half. This will always be in my memory. Wasn't the captain dancing with the little girl and she watches as his head falls apart? He kind of gets sliced diagonally and she is too short to get cut by the cable. I watched this movie a bunch of times, I'm not sure why. Edit, I may be misremembering. I do think one of them got the head sliced, but now I'm questioning if it was the captain. The shoe in Roger Rabbit frown. How about the steamroller scene? That movie was packed to the brim with traumatic whimsy. When I killed your brother, I talked. Just like this. Eyes turn into daggers. That scene still gives me the creeps. Love the movie though. The baby gorilla in the animated Tarzan. What the hell, Disney? That whole movie had a lot of death. Clayton's death at the end was really dark. Didn't notice the shadow of his hanging corpse as a kid, I was too focused on the machete. Also didn't notice that you can see Tarzan's parents' corpses. Tarzan's parents' corpses and little bloody paw prints. In Silence of the Lambs, when Hannibal gets a hold of the guard in his cage cell and starts biting his face. 9-year-old me was not ready for that, and I was less ready to hear my mom start laughing hysterically at the scene. I guess she just found it absurd. 9-year-old me was not ready for that. Was 9-year-old you ready for Buffalo Bill to talk about getting ducked in the mirror? It ducked me so hard. Not technically a death, but when Wally's memory banks got fried at the end, I felt that in my soul. Thankfully Pixar would never leave us on a note like that, but damn. That little robot moved me so much. I think it's really fascinating how much emotion and life you can put into a thing by just using eye movements. Will Smith smothering the dog as it turns in I Am Legend. In the Price version, they just had him find the germs under a microscope, and next WEC he's burying a dog-sized cloth bundle with a stake in it. In the book he spends a majority of the time trying to befriend the dog as it's his only other possible companion, only to have the dog die shortly after finally coming together. It's been years since I read the book, but I don't think any of the movies based off it have really hit the mark. The VP version is excellent though. There's an entire chapter on he sees the dog, how he gets it to trust him, how he adopts him and nurses it back to health. The last line of the chapter is how the dog died shortly after. Brutal stuff. When they crush Piggy in Lord of the Flies. I was probably too young to watch. Also, the scientist who gets killed in the elevator in Damien, The Omen 2. I remember when I read The Lord of the Flies and I felt so bad for poor Simon. When the shark kills Quint in Jaws. This is mine. Probably because I was 11 and watching it in a packed theater. The whole experience is still a vivid memory. That movie blew people away. Hereditary, the car crash. The way he just goes home and goes straight to bed. Chilling. The way he just lays there with his eyes open all night. I don't want to imagine what thoughts were spinning through his mind as he lay there for hours, then hearing his parents wake up but not knowing what to tell them, then hearing his mom go out to the car knowing what is waiting for her. That whole scene is so stressful on so many levels. His mom's shriek when she leaves the house haunts me to this day. Toni Collette got ducking robbed of an Oscar nom for that performance. Agreed. The scene at the dinner table is some of the best acting I have ever seen. She's exceptionally talented. That face on your face. Boromir in Fellowship of the Ring. It gets dusty in the room just remembering it. I would have followed you, my brother, my captain, my king. Feels. The old wisdom that was born out of the West was forsaken. Kings made tombs more splendid than the houses of the living and counted the names of their descent dearer than the names of their sons. Childless lords sat in aged halls musing on heraldry or in high, cold towers asking questions of the stars. And so the people of Gondor fell into ruin. The line of kings failed, the white tree withered, and the rule of Gondor was given over to lesser men. The scene in Bone Tomahawk where they rip the guy in half. This duckin' scene, I hate it that it haunts me and interrupts my thoughts every once in a while. I'd be thinking about work, my kids, planning stuff, wishbone scene, and my fucking day is ruined. Gotta be the scene in Inglourious Bastards where Bridget von Hammersmark is strangled to death. That was intense. I feel like I remember the bear Jew scene a little more clearly than this one, but yeah, this is still super intense. Professor Xavier in Logan. Sir Patrick Stewart is such an actor. It wasn't me. It wasn't me. Damn, that was hard to watch. Logan. Logan, what did you do? What did you do? Answer me. Jesus, even the trailer for that is brutal. The trailer with Hurt by Johnny Cash as the music is an absolute masterpiece. That poor guy who gets his heart ripped out by thuggies and sent into lava in Temple of Doom always got me as a kid. Still pretty memorable. Oberyn Martell in Game of Thrones. Made me physically ill. First time watching that my girlfriend and I had to pause it and regroup. Probably the most shocking moment I've ever seen on a TV show, and it was a good twist. Since I'd already read the books, that moment for me was Tommen jumping out the window. I watched it with friends and then the episode ended and we sat there speechless for like 5 minutes. Cedric Diggory's death in Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, his dad crying and sobbing and just made me never forget it. That's my son. That's my boy, breaks my heart even just remembering it.